And Tim, and I'm joined in the studio now by Dinelle. Good morning, Dennis. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you
and
again.
Dr. Jean Turgeon. I don't want to hurt those
Tim.
precious doctor's hands. Dennis, your wife Tracy. Tell me about Tracy, Dennis.
Oh, Tracy was an inspiring person that I met when I moved back home in '99. We got together and had a great 15 years till she was diagnosed with breast cancer in May 2012, and began her journey with that. She ultimately started a charity called Tracy's Dream, and how that began was she was partway through her journey and she was going in to have a double mastectomy.
Okay.
She was fearless about it. She wasn't worried, she wasn't scared. She wanted people to know that she wasn't. So she asked me to take some photos of her, nude, topless, but she had our two puppies in front of her. And so it was kind of a bit of a provocative photo, but not, it wasn't really showing anything, but she wanted to use that photo to bring attention to people, the fact that she wasn't scared of what she was facing, and to give people strength and hope, and hopefully that they would be inspired by that.
We actually have that photo here in the studio. I didn't know the story behind it. I saw it on the Facebook page,
Yes.
and I did notice that obviously she wasn't wearing. There's the photo right there.
Yes.
Now, this is after or before the double mastectomy?
This is just before.
Just before.
Yes.
Okay.
And
wow.
Yeah. So that was her idea right at that point, and then she realized also, once she started drawing attention, because we did reach out to some media and she wanted people to know, right? At the same time, we were discussing the cost of parking that we were paying all the time going to the hospital. And she realized that maybe drawing attention to that might help people with the costs, and start doing a little fundraising, and and that idea that she had, and we just started reaching out to people, and people seemed really supportive of it. The community started to get behind it, and it just started to grow. So then we started having from small little fundraisers to larger ones, and then started receiving more calls for help and assistance. And it wasn't all about, for her, it wasn't all about the financial part of it. Part of that we realized was the stresses of everything that you're taking in. You have this new diagnosis, you're walking in, and you're getting this whole new education about cancer, and you're scared as hell inside. And the last thing you want to do is be out in that parking lot fumbling for $5, $6 to put into the meter or a token, and find out you only had $4 and you had to walk back inside, and you already have this going on in your head, and just the stress and the financial part of it. So her idea was to help ease that stress, one less stress for people to endure during their journey. And so a lot of times people will call up and ask for parking assistance, and say, they start to say that they're they have a little financial, and that's why, and I tell them, I say, what, it's not all about financial. This is to help ease some of that stress, ease the burden of the cost and stress associated with the cost of parking.
A big part, and Jean, you would probably back me up on this, a big part of going through a journey like Tracy went through, and cancer survivors as well, but just going through that kind of stressful situation, mental health, being able to stay positive, anything that would help relieve stress is going to help make the treatments more effective. Do you agree?
It sure is, and you tend to you're focused with laser sharp focus on your disease and what's happening to you, but all those little annoying things around you add up, and you can't deal with them the way you could before, because nothing is small anymore. It's all big.
And Tracy also mentioned as far as finances go too, beyond, once you've had, like for instance, after double mastectomy, then there's all these other things you have to talk about. And when going through chemo, if you're talking about wigs, you're talking about any kind of prosthetics, there's so many expenses that come even after you've had your treatment. So anything to lighten the load and to ease the burden, and as you say, just to take the stress off. You said it brilliantly. So this has been now, do you have, I see you have some numbers there. Did you want to share some of the success that you've had, or how the amount that
Sure.
you've helped? And I know that you also want to thank some people.
I do. Well, I'd like to call attention to the numbers because I actually did some calculating last night, and I was kind of astounded because I hadn't had all our data yet until a couple days ago. So what I can share with you right now is the amount of calls that we've taken in since January 2015 when this Tracy started, and that is 1,392 calls. And that is like just astounding to me. We've given out 5,449 tokens, and that's at $6 a piece, and monthly passes we've given out 400. Calculate all that together, works out to $59,374 that the community has actually given us, and that we've given back to cancer patients to help them with parking. So our average call of those 1,392 calls works out to a cost of about $42, which is about 7 tokens, which is about bang on because that's generally, because we work on a 30-day basis, so we provide support for 30 days and then review it again for the next 30 days because its schedules do change, and it's about average 8 visits per month.
This is like a full-time job.
It is, I'm telling you, we receive 3 to 4 calls a day sometimes. And I want to give a shout out to the people that helped me, Lynn Palumbo, Kelly Hopper-DeLooney, are 2 other locations that have volunteered their homes in the city to help us distribute the tokens and passes. So
Well,
thank you.
Man, what a legacy. And so when we come back from commercial, we're going to talk about how we can all continue to keep Tracy's dream alive. And Jean's a big part of that with the Comedics. We're going to have a great evening together on September the 15th. We'll talk about that when we come back. So stay with us on Mornings with Luann and Tim. Oh, that's okay.
Great.
So Dennis, you're showing me now a calendar and a big, you want us to give a shout out to Marty Stone. Who else helped with this calendar? The Tracy
Anna
calendar?
from Cabana Studios.
Anna Cabana.
And
Anna from Cabana.
and Gabriella Fogg,
Yeah.
design.
And Marty Stone for the printing.
Yes.
And then my buddy Debbie Lawrence.
Yes,
She's
I have
done
her.
fundraising for you too?
She has. She does a annual for the last 2 years at the Station Mall, part of the craft show that
Hey,
they
Debbie, nice of her to do that. And
Very.
over the years, you've had so many. And now, Dr. Jean Turge on the Comedics. I love the t-shirt, don't you folks? Look at this. It's always nice to see a doctor wearing a skull and crossbones. It's really comforting, Jean.
Well, the back is even better.
What's the back say? Wait, don't call security. We are the band. How many years have the Comedics been together now?
23 years ago
Come
it started.
on.
23 years.
How did it all start, Jean?
Very innocently with the Bonsu Review.
Oh,
Gene
remember
Keating.
the Bonsu Review?
Bonsu Review. Gene Keating asked if we would participate. All 3 of the originals had done the odd little thing, and 3 of us got together. John knew 2 songs on the guitar.
That's Dr. John Pearson.
Dr. John Pearson. Brian Shamus was in the original group. He was the 3rd one.
Yes.
And we lip synced 2 songs.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And that was the beginning, and it's gone from there.
Now, name of the other doctors over the years who've been involved with the Comedics.
Well, it's a long list.
Is it?
Many of the thing that changed the group so many times is we would have a young doc come in, particularly on percussion, and once they had a couple of kids, the wife would say, "No, you're not a part of the band anymore." Partly because of the noise, partly because I guess they wanted help with diaper changing. So that it's young families sort of have changed our group.
Now, my
dramatically.
recollection, Fred Pelchat's been drumming. Is he
Fred-
still?
Yeah, he is. He's not going to be drumming for this one because he's got a wedding in the States the day before.
Okay.
Although we offered to try and get back. So Mark Goth is going to.
Mark is okay. So you do have some non-medical musicians in there.
Oh, absolutely. We like to have medical folks in it, but we sure love to have good ringers.
Dr.
also.
Bob Maloney still with you
Dr.
guys?
Bob, oh yeah, Dr. Bob still.
Who does a lot of the writing, Gene? For those folks, for anybody who hasn't seen the Comedics, what they do is they sometimes
I do most of it.
Sometimes you do completely original tunes
Yes,
and lyrics, and other
correct.
times you'll take a popular song and change the lyrics.
Change it just a little bit.
Just a
yes,
little, just
yes,
a little bit.
Yes.
But historic now, and I owe you a debt of gratitude, although I'll never give you a dime. It was a fundraiser for the theater center. That
Right,
the
we
Comedics
did
were
the Comedy Fest
participating.
for 3 years.
You brought in the comedy team, the Doo-Wops, who were just back in town.
They were.
You went to see them, didn't you?
I was away,
Oh,
unfortunately.
were you at
but
the
I missed them.
WTF? Oh, Cheryl and Mike were there. Your daughter
right.
and were. So the Doo-Wops were in town for the WTF festival, but you were looking for somebody to sort of do an MC opening act for the Doo-Wops, who were the main act.
Correct.
And you guys were also an opening act as well. And you approached me and asked me if I could come up with a character, a little Italian character, and that was the birth of Gina Lola International Brigida. And I have to thank you for that, but as I say, you're not getting any commission from me. So, tell me about this fundraiser. What's going on? Where is it? Where can we get tickets? All that good stuff.
Well, it's at the Great Moose Hall. I'm not sure that's different from the regular Moose Hall. I think it's the same location.
It is.
Which is on Wellington Street East, or Trunk Road, actually.
Trunk Road.
Trunk Road,
Right. Just before Wellington Square Mall.
You got
basically.
it.
Yeah.
That's the Great Moose Lodge.
And it's coming up pretty quickly. It's Saturday, September 15th.
Okay. Oh, there the poster's up. Wonderful. Thank you, Michael, for putting that poster up. And tickets are
Tickets
available
are available at the theater center.
at the box
at
office,
the box office
in the station mall.
and of course online.
And you can go online too.
Right. And then there are some people in town that have tickets as well.
Wonderful. And they are. Is it $25?
Yes.
$25.
And what's going to happen that evening? What events are going to roll out? I see silent auction, stuff like that. Dennis, do you have?
Yes. So part of the show during the break, we're going to have a kind of a small silent auction, but
Nice.
we have door prizes
Oh.
for anybody purchasing a ticket. We'll have a chance to win a autographed Marty Turco jersey and goalie sticks. So
Nice.
that will be the door prize.
Just a question. If there's just by chance anybody out there who's watching who might have some prizes they might want to donate, would you still be up for that?
Certainly, we can reach us through Tracy's Dream Facebook page.
Okay.
And we also have tracysdream.com. And you can actually purchase tickets through our website now as well. So
Wow.
we're set up that way.
Just congratulations. Honestly, Dennis, this is a beautiful thing you've done for your wife and for the community. And Gene, always, the Comedics have always been there. I don't even know. Do you even know how much money you guys have raised over the years?
I think we're now approaching about $3 million.
Oh my goodness.
We're way over the $2 million mark.
Oh, Gene. Amazing. All volunteered, these
And
doctors,
we
eh?
sure had a lot of fun doing it.
Well,
That's-
okay, so September the 15th, we'll see you at the Great Moose Lodge for the Comedics, raising funds for Tracy's Dream. We'll be back with more Mornings with Lou Ann and Tim right after this.